Ребят, привет. Сейчас музыку чуть потише сделаю. Надеюсь, меня хорошо слышно. Проблемы были с микрофоном, но у меня еще вебка сломана. Сейчас постараюсь как-то ее поправить, чтобы мне видно. Ну, вроде видно. Надеюсь, все норм будет, она не упадет. Просто у нее крепление сломалось, она мне еле как держится. Ну что, начинаем Геншин. Сейчас пару секунд буквально. Включу в Геншин звук. И игру. Привет, мам. И игру выпущу вам. Ну что, ребят, я так устала болеть. Это просто ужас. Очень много болела. Сначала у меня был грипп, потом было что-то с почками. Не знаю, может и одни. Мне сначала, в общем, был грипп, потом что-то с почками, а потом у меня аллергия началась. Прям резко началась внезапная. Все лицо было красное, все тело было красное. Короче, мы с парнем очень испугались и вызвали мне скорую.
Телефон скорой помощи 103. Звоните скорее со своего телефона.
У меня Алиса тут болтает. Зачем-то. Ну что, ребят, начинаем Геншин проходить. Я игру немного потише сделаю, потому что немного мешает звук игры. Так, начинаем. Надеюсь, трансляция игры идет. Да, идет. В общем, я поменяла отряд. Блин, вот по моим стримам реально можно понять, что у меня шизофрения. Сколько я сама с собой, я, блин, болтаю. Ну, вот еще мама тут. Надеюсь, кто-нибудь придет. В общем, я поменяла отряд. У меня теперь вот такие персонажи замечательные в Геншине. С прекрасными артефактами, прекрасными характеристиками. Ну, у этого так себе, потому что я им особо не играю. Я буду играть на Хидой. У меня вот почти косарь мастерства стихий. Синсу и Синобу. Так что сейчас мы соберем с вами экспедиция. Получить все. Повтор. И сейчас погоним делать ивент, а затем квест, который мы начинали с вами проходить до того, как я заболела. Так, нет, не еду. Секунду. А что у нас ивент еще? Через 15 часов только будет. Ну ладно. Тогда либо завтра пройдем, либо послезавтра. Смотрим, как у меня там с делами будет. Надеюсь, завтра смогу постримить. Так, я микрофон чуть поближе к себе сделаю, чтобы меня было лучше слышно. И погнали тогда делать задание, которое мы начинали. Вот это. И еще у меня такое предложение, когда кто-нибудь из ребят зайдет на трансляцию, пройти другую игру от Хаверсов, от этих же разработчиков, то есть Ханкай. Не знаю, захотите вы или нет, но хочется пройти Ханкай. Я уже скачала, стрим настроила, так что если хотите, можем пройти другую игру от этих разработчиков. Ну или начать проходить, я не знаю, что там вообще. Не читала особо про нее ничего. Просто знаю, что она есть. Так, нам нужно пойти, собственно, к двум челикам и расспросить их. Вот у нас Синсу. Честно, не помню уже особо, что там было. Почему у него женский голос? Вот в этой английской озвучке. Очень странно. Почему?
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I don't know if I can say for sure.
Ну, мы будем рады за любую
I can't
подсказку.
pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps. The people idolized her, but never all
Это
they
он
knew was that she
про
always acted alone.
эту.
Later, though,
Блин,
she supposedly
у меня
fell in love
проблемы
with
с
a
запоминанием
similarly
имен в
noble-minded
этих играх,
exorcist
потому
from
что они
Mount
все
Sianhui. They were well
азиатские.
matched in more
Мне их
ways than
сложно
one,
запоминать.
often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly
Секунду,
strength.
ребят, извиняюсь. Буквально секунду. Скоро вернусь. Так, ребят, я здесь. Ой, насморк. Все еще продолжается. Бесит. Так, ну что, погнали дальше. Я все подключила. Да. Так, они знали только, что героиня всегда появляется одна, но потом она полюбила экзорцисты с горы Тяньхэн. Они стали мужем и женой и часто сражались плечом к плечу, наводя страх на потусторонние силы. Когда засуха кончилась, героиня и экзорцист ушли от мира и стали жить затворниками в горах. А нам остались только легенды об их чудесных подвигах. Так, ну, мне просто надо тоже включиться в сюжет, потому что я все забыла.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait, Shincho, if you've read up on her, do you...
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of three places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and Jingyun. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those three places. That would explain why those...
Спасибо.
You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuendai was indeed... It's
Да, мы
rare
тоже
for a
надеемся.
chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime.
Я вспомнила, кажется, да, там была бабуля и ребенок, с которым мы встретились в кафе. И нам нужно что-то о них узнать. Точнее, вот об этой женщине, как раз бабуля.
I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something. There's probably far more to the story than what's been written.
Ну, возможно.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Shincho. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar? Oh, right! There's a drought in this story too. Shincho, are droughts super?
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them, like by cultivating the soil or so while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50 years ago is probably the crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the
О,
monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked, and people who lost their homes came together to form bandits.
That sounds
жесть.
awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of still. As terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that they say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest of adepti could hope to dispel the ruin and devastation.
Да уж. Ну
Do you
ничего,
have
мы
any
со
other
всем все равно
questions?
справимся. Нет, вопросов не
I'm just
осталось.
going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that
Погнали.
Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu.
It's
Спасибо
no
за
problem at all.
помощь, Синсу.
Safe travels.
Спасибо. Так, мадам Пим, ну погнали. Так, в общем, ребят, если хотите... Ой, чуть не утонула. Если захотите Ханкай, чтобы я прошла, пишите в комментариях. Также, может быть, я в ТГ-канале опросик сделаю. Просто Геншин я уже как бы начала проходить уже давно. А Ханкай нет. И будет, наверное, здорово, если я буду проходить игру, которую еще сама не знаю. Так будет, наверное, интереснее для всех. Ух ты, какая красивая штука.
Oh, thank you. Straight word, Ping. What has amused you?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your
Что ты хочешь
counsel
меня
on a
спросить?
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me a little nervous.
Что случилось?
The inquiry is as such.
Блин, почему у меня губы синие? Я так хотела ее нарисовать с нормальными губами, а у нее оказались в игре синие губы. Вот. И я теперь не знаю, с какими ее рисовать. Ну, блин, придется с такими, наверное. Грустно, конечно, но надеюсь, будет выглядеть прилично.
Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor?
It does not require as much as you.
Club retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed any useful details?
Shinto has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and...
Do not be
Что
troubled,
такое?
young lady. Here, have some tea.
О, чай. Ребят, я вчера, короче, купила матчу. То есть, ну, сам порошок именно матча. И сделала несколько матча-латте напитков. Потому что я его очень люблю в кофейных, но он стоит очень дорого. Вот, я решила попробовать сделать сама. И мне так понравилось. Это так классно вообще. В общем, если вам нравится матча, попробуйте купить сам вот этот порошок. Я покупала в Перекрестке. И попробуйте сделать сами. Это очень вкусно, намного вкуснее, чем в кофейне, где матчу. Вот сам этот порошок подержит непонятно с чем. Так что мой вам совет. Делайте сами. Так, ну что, играем дальше.
Thank you so much. What do you think, Shuyu? Does it match up with what you know?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe that's my grandpa. I don't
Дедушка.
have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in our attic full of a bunch of weird sigils.
Так, наверное, стоит наведаться в эти места, да.
Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweet. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature. And
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among...
thank you.
Да, давайте отдохнем и тронем
Okay,
чуть-чуть.
since we have the time,
В принципе, у нас даже выбора нет в диалогу. Да, давай, задавай вопрос.
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you. Let's go talk over there.
Идем. Ну, давайте. Сейчас только соберу цветочки здесь, потому что они мне нужны будут. Блин, я же могу какие-то по-другому их собрать. Ну, ладно. Так. Это еще есть цветочки? Вот, вижу. Блин, она их не захватывает. О, там тоже есть. Во. Давай. Блин. Ну, так, ладно. Эй, погнали по заданию. Не падай в воду. Тебя нет энергии. Ты можешь тонуть. Так, нам сюда.
What's wrong, Shuyu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant.
Ну, мы не адепты. Вот она адепт.
Adepti in disguise?
Oh! How about that?
Раскусили.
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Shen.
Must have been a slip of the tongue. Xianyun, since you were the one who,
One
такое?
is indeed an adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
Она призналась.
I knew it. Well, one time when I was a little kid, I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross.
Это она и есть. Она и есть вот журавли.
From the sky. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake. So I just kind of wanted to
a pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are... Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Never has one met an adeptus with such features. One surmises such...
That's weird. Was it... Well, even if it was just in my head, it
Это
doesn't
же она
matter that much anyway.
есть.
All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories. I'm really grateful for all your help.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one!
Привет.
Let's go to Wangshu Inn first!
Так, да. Пойдемте на постоялый двор.
I'll go get Granny.
Так, ой, нам далеко идти. Так, куда нам? Извиняюсь, у меня Яндекс.Еда зачем-то мне пишет. Надеюсь, это не слышно было. Так, нам как раз сюда.
Wangshu Inn. Wangshu Inn. Do you remember this place, Granny? Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can, I believe, I used to have a room here. It had a window. Yes, I spent a lot of time looking out that window.
У нее тоже как-то голос не подходит ее внешности на английском.
I'll come with.
Ну, пойдемте. Или мы останемся здесь.
I'm having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived.
О, Сяо.
All of a sudden, you scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
Сяо, привет.
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look. If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form. I have
Ты видела
indeed.
только человека?
I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the
Ого.
Archon War.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Behold, the glory of one's newest
Поймон, ты
invention,
чего?
the Bang Bang continuous fire mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
An impressive imitation.
Сяо, ты чего?
Paimon knows her all too well.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in mechanics. The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn. Only speak-
Cloud Retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it. But what happened after that? If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you
Ну,
decide
кстати,
to take
да,
up your
зачем ты
bird form
обратно в
again?
птицу
Once
превращалась?
one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape?
Ну, в принципе, логично.
When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world, a mortal form is hardly the most fitting of choices.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor. Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago, when she decided to...
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Granny, are you okay?
Эта бабуля, она... Я сама не знаю, кто она пока что. Она просто бабуля, которой мы помогаем по заданию. И вот нам как раз нужно выяснить, кто она такая.
Back then, at this place,
Perhaps this conversation should end here.
Сяо
I shall take
уходит.
my leave now.
Ну ладно.
Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud Retainer, I trust you are in good hands.
Пока, Сяо. Нифига,
Everyone,
как он круто
I
исчез.
think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Slowly now, Calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
A long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Huh. So what Shinjo said was true! You did fall ill! Was that why you went into hiding?
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my illness. I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating birds outside the window. It was a
Я не
solemn
знаю, почему все
sight.
молчат.
I remember crying, but I'm not even sure I knew why. One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my
Наверное,
illness,
потому что никого
he
нет на
sold me
стриме.
a bottle of
Ничего страшного.
soul-revitalizing tea pills. He told me that the pills were concocted using adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery.
Так, потеря памяти.
But if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago? And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain cut
Да, мне тоже сейчас голова взорвется, я не понимаю вообще. Это задание легенд.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so...
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was just a bit frustrated.
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past is always superior to not finding anything at all. Let us make haste to the next location.
Ну, погнали в следующее место.
Next location. There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? After all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right? Oh, Paimon's really got her thinking cap on today! At this rate, we'll recover all of Granny Wendai's memories in no time!
Да, надеюсь, мы вернем ей воспоминания, потому что мы тоже сами не знаем, кто она такая. Так, нам нужно в заоблачный предел попасть. Блин, я так хочу сундуки найти здесь какие-нибудь. Но ничего нету. Я что, все сундуки здесь забрала? Да вроде бы. Нет? Да? Ну ладно. Прыгай. О, там еще вот эта штука есть, которая нам нужна будет. Ну почему ты нормально не приближаешь? Во, теперь нормально собрали, вроде бы. Так, нам нужно заоблачный предел. Вот в эти 3 места. Погнали. Так, ну что, карта прогрузилась. Да, мы быстрее дойдем. Ну, давайте по порядку их будем проходить. Давай, восстанавливающая энергия. Ага. О, там у нас есть штучка, которая мне нужна. Прекрасно. Сейчас ее заберем.
I don't remember this place at all. Still, I was thinking.
Huh? What?
I'm
Какие
not
порядки?
sure. Maybe it's because I used.
I don't remember playing it that much. Are you sure about that, Granny? We only played a few times, and we stopped once we realized I was no good at the whole.
Ah, is that so?
Может, она притворяется, что у нее нет памяти? Ой, простите, ребят, микрофон задела.
Try somewhere else.
Так, нам нужно вот эту забрать. Вот эту штучку. И как хорошо, что мы ее нашли.
The weather is lovely and warm. Things are about to start getting
Ура.
lively again.
Так, и следующее место прям, ну, в принципе, без разницы. Как раз, может, залутаем вот эти геокулы по дороге. Здесь будут. Так, куда ближе? Вот в это ближе место. Так, тут нет геокулов. Кто у меня быстрее ходит? Наверное, да. Так, что это за место?
Hyman sees an abandoned house. Why don't we take a break over there?
Зачем тебе привал?
Place.
Did you
Она
remember
здесь жила?
something, Granny?
I remember. Shuyu. This is where your father was born. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but neither of us knew if it could hold the monsters back. I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees. I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath, but spare my innocent child.
Sin? Oath? Did you do something wrong?
Странная бабуля.
I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father. I remember I clutched him tight to my chest and wept tears of joy.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Shuyu. You're so much like, but you're always going to be different from me. Why? Just what did I do?
I don't care
Надеюсь,
what you
мы
may
это
have done, Granny.
узнаем.
You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. If not for you, I would not have had the courage.
Не переживай, бабуля, узнаем скоро, что с тобой случилось.
There's one place left, yes?
Да,
Let's go take a
еще
look.
одно место. Пойдемте скорее, да.
Recalls correctly, The next place should be Qingyun Peak. Yuandai, how fares your health?
Ой, а почему она так далеко? Она должна была быть рядом где-то. Так, я, ребят, еще немножко здесь поблужу. Потому что мне это нужно. А почему я не могу его открыть? Нам нужны другие персонажи, я поняла. Тут еще какая-то загадка. Я ее не проходила. Ну, ладно. Так, теперь нам надо вот в это место. Так, ребят, секундочку. Нужно кое-что посмотреть. Так, все, погнали. Погнали дальше. Ну, то есть... Блин, как здесь красиво. Горы. Только не падай сильно. Блин, сколько у меня тут загадок всяких. Надо будет пройти.
We're finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny One Day?
Let me see. How strange. Have I
Ты что-то вспомнила?
lived here before? When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiar. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
But did the stories get it wrong then?
Ну да, логично. Нельзя ждать читать книгу правды до последнего
They're
слова.
also the only thing we have to go off of.
Ну, может, она сейчас что-нибудь
Paimon was hoping this
вспомнит?
place would jog Granny Wendy's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
Да не разочаровала.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you.
Thank you. If only I could remember.
Ничего страшного, вспомнишь.
That way. What's that mountain?
Да тут везде горы. Что?
Oh, let Paimon look. Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsang? Looks like we've come full circle.
Что?
Mount Outsang. Mount Outsang.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Mount Outsang, What am I really?
Она что-то вспоминает.
Mount Outsong holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but I can't go back.
Are
Почему?
you feeling unwell?
My head, it feels all heavy and dizzy. What is wrong with me?
Cloud, Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
Пойму, с ней говорила, с ней назвала ее по ее
Let us go
статусу.
to Mount Outsong.
Минуту, ребят. Секунду, точнее. Сейчас приду. Мне просто надо опять высморкаться. Дико извиняюсь. Так, ребята, я вернулась. Ну что, погнали на гору.
Fret not, all will be well. You and I, you have already given more than enough to the pursuit of this. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently
Устройство.
resides at Mount Outsong.
Wait, really? When did you do that?
Что за устройство?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Ну, погнали. Заинтриговала хранительница. Ух ты. На какое-то типа задание пришли. Поручение. Ладно. Так. Ахида. Пойдем. Вот так. Нет, 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 нет. Вот. Ура. Мы добрались. Ух ты. Нет, я не хочу испытания проходить. Что это такое? Тут тоже какая-то загадка, которую я не проходила еще. А, кстати, где мы находимся? Ага, поняла, где.
Come on, just tell Paimon already. What's this thing you've prepared?
Here, this is it.
Журавль.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here?
Precisely. A recent one at that.
Ловец
I am
людей.
most pleased. It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state. Soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia, its potential uses are numerous indeed.
Можно мне
And of
такое
course, it can
устройство?
also aid in the recovery of lost memories.
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, why did you keep it to yourself until just now? We could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved Paimon a lot of floating.
Пойман, успокойся.
How preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon.
Ну,
We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination and strength of character,
ну,
one would
возможно,
have little
да.
to offer in way
Ты
of
права.
Paimon thinks she gets it now. Hey, what's that other thing?
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune
Oh.
from Streetward Rambler. Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
Вынти записал мелодию. Класс.
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather.
Красивая
As
мелодия.
if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass.
And you and I, is the mechanism helping you to relax?
М?
It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
Она вспоминает.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. one of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past.
Это
the
она
me
была
of
этим
not that long
журавлем.
ago.
Ну, та ведь тоже, у
We
нее
should
тоже
have
с этим
met.
что-то связано, и у нее облик ее настоящий, птичий. Она тоже адепт, получается? Или я как-то не так понимаю? Сейчас
So
разберемся.
that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny! Granny, are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Они были знакомы?
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean you already knew each other?
Да, они, походу, знакомы очень давно.
Yes. I now remember everything. Everything.
Granny, please don't cry. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. Granny is fine. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was...
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions.
Давай, рассказывай нам. Очень интересно, правда.
It's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on. Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story, if you're willing to listen.
Да,
Please,
хотим.
Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter. I love you more than anything.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. It is for this reason that you deserve to know the truth. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never atone.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Joyun Karst? What happened?
I am,
Рассказывай.
in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that
Да,
I
она
held
была
for
белым
centuries,
журавлем.
was that of a wild crane. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to me. Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even
И
contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by. Until that fateful day 50 years ago.
что же это было? Ага, вот
That's
это
right.
засуха.
Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how
И
she
она
had
хотела
saved
здесь
people from
сделать так
similar
же, что ли?
places in the past.
Видимо, да.
She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went. But I was
Да, она
still
хотела быть
far
такой
from being a
же.
real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me.
Так. Ой, кто в мир ко мне просится. Все, начал, потом идешь.
She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither human, beast, nor adeptus.
Жестоко. Хранительница облаков если поступила.
So that was the source of your dementia all along. Was it because of Grandpa?
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the
Ой,
world
Настя,
below,
привет.
but his as well.
Спасибо большое, Настёш. Я уже вроде поправляюсь. Спасибо. А, кстати, с прошедшим днем рождения тебя. Вроде у тебя недавно было, насколько я видела. В прошедшем дыре.
But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. Yet I did not want to leave his side.
Oh no, what happened next?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode.
Так,
I was
и...
convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me. But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the
Что за
same time.
снадобье? Кто его...
If it weren't for
Крови
those
адептов?
soul-revitalizing tea...
Так.
Granny, what's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? No.
Кто это
Couldn't
был?
be. Master, don't tell me. Back then, that merchant was actually...
Что такое?
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best
Это она
wishes.
сделала. Это она сделала.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive was myself. You knew.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular game. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what form they may take.
Wait! Paimon's confused!
Я тоже немного потеряла нить, но все равно очень интересно.
So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after that?
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Хорошо, продолжай. Сейчас, наверное, будет какая-то анимация. Мультик какой-нибудь. Может, подземелье. Да, подземелье началось. Так, секунду, ребят. В общем, сейчас делаем перерыв на... Ух ты. На ненадолго. Минуток на 5, 6-7. И вернемся и продолжим этот ивент. Ой, точнее, не ивент, а задание легенд. Простите, что оговариваюсь, я давно не общалась с людьми. Так, в общем, 6-7 минуток, и я вернусь, и мы продолжим. Сейчас включу вам музыку. Надеюсь, меня не застрайкают за эту музыку. Надеюсь, стрим не прервется. Ну что, ребят, продолжаем? Так, включаю вебку. Включаю... Так, сейчас надо отключить эту музыку. Прекрасный Шопен, обожаю его. И захват игры включаем. И продолжаем. Так, мы сейчас в каком-то с вами подземелье. Где оно вообще находится? Непонятно где. Но ничего страшного. Продолжим. Какое красивое место. Вау. Ух ты, а что там находится? Какое место красивое. Вау, мне очень нравится. Так, извиняюсь, но я хочу пройти туда. Ух ты. Натали. Как красиво. Нам нужно туда добраться. Это как раз-таки вот этот постоялый дом. Он такой старый, что ли? Так, нам нужно сесть в лодку.
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies, wishing to grant you a life without regrets. One gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu Inn. As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise?
Так, нам нужно идти в следующее место. Блин, я не хочу быстро идти. Мне так нравится здесь. Ой, как мы туда... А, я знаю, как мы туда... Вот. Ой, ой, ой-ой-ой-ой. Давай, добирайся. Ух ты, там сундук какой-то. Ух ты, нам надо его забирать. Мне нужен этот сундук. И... Блин. Я как всегда. Нет, нет, нет. Не падай, пожалуйста. А как туда добраться? Ну вот я нажимаю твою ешку. Ты просто прыгаешь, что ли? Так, еще раз. Да блин. Очень интересно. Давай покормим тебя. Как нам туда добраться? Еще раз. Мне нужно узнать, как ее ешка работает. Что ты ей делаешь? Ага. Ну, давайте попробуем. Да блин. Так не получилось.
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable. Even considering your loss of memory, one was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters.
Нам нужно как-то добраться туда. А, может, я поняла, кажется. Может, с дерева? Нет, не так. Извиняюсь, ребят, что я туплю. Да не получается. А, вот. Несколько раз нужно было нажать. Все, теперь я поняла. Ура. Прикольно. Все, поняла. Ну что, идем дальше? Ух ты! Что это за место такое? Ой, еще пришли. Ничего, всех убьем. Так, ой, их так много. Блин, хорошо, что я ее не выбивала. Мне особо не нравится геймплей.
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remain. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. To see you happy, that was more than enough.
Ну, допустим. Так, двигаемся дальше. Может, там что-то наверху есть? Надеюсь, нам дадут туда пройти. Ничего не вижу. Ну ладно. Секунду, ребят. У меня снова насморк. Все, я здесь. Проходим дальше. Блин, я надеюсь, он скоро пройдет. Мне это сама уже надоело. Надоело.
But if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to
Ой,
recount the
извиняюсь.
absurdities of that tale.
Ну, давай рассказывай нам эту историю. Это ты был уже рулем, получается? Так, врата возрождения активированы. Замечательно. И мне еще надо узнать, сколько у меня геопечати, потому что они мне нужны очень сильно для прохождения другого задания. Вау, как красиво. Это Льюи. Красота.
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache.
Каких забот?
Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when
Она
one
прям
stood
реально
before you devoid of
припудривалась.
any other coloring. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuandai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still recognized the essence of her being.
Забавно.
Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than...
Так что мы, получается, выходим из подземелья. Так мало наград. Так что, ребят, верно, на следующем стриме попробую сами Ханхай начать проходить.
One owes you an apology, Yuandai. One recognized you upon your one has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liyue Harbor. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have become the fictionalized account of another.
Ну да,
Memories are
логично.
most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree? Even if the process was painful and arduous to experience.
Master, I
Опять
must
у нее
ask,
голос молодой
if you
девушки.
found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Outsong by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more.
И
When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, It is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary and the night grows dark, 'tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You and I. One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late, have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet even the power of an adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature
О,
lacking in
это
the
вот как раз
ability
таки
to
то,
even
что
comprehend its own
это проклятие,
monstrousness.
которое ее настигнет.
Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along,
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
one will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Нет другого
Master,
выхода, правда.
you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for.
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind.
Блин,
Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big
грустно.
and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone.
I promise, Granny. I'll do whatever you say.
Good girl, good
А с кем
girl.
она останется?
Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable
С кем
crane in
она тогда
all of Mount
маленькая
Outsung.
останется?
Granny will train
Вот это
day
мне очень
and night.
интересно.
I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's that sound?
Good.
Блин, так
That's a
жалко
good
девочку.
girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard,
Она про
we're
брата
sure to meet
вспомнила.
again someday.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes.
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
Грустный, грустный квест. Теперь она станет птичкой.
Shiryu.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event.
Мне тоже грустно.
Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress, and now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake you in due time.
Красивая штучка. Надеюсь, нам ее дадут, чтобы я ее к себе в дом поставила. Геншин. Ой. Да ну, это сон. Не может быть. Извините, ребят. Я не плачу. Это сон. Это ее брат.
Believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me.
Хорошо.
If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up.
Какие красивые.
Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Grilled chicken drumsticks. Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now?
Да.
Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all.
Наверное, вкусные.
Madam Adeptus? Oh, Shuyu, you're awake. How do you feel? I feel a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't
Это
feel
хорошо,
so
что
sad
не
anymore.
горюешь.
Madam Adeptus, could I ask you something?
О,
Would you
блин,
take me
извините,
in as
ребят, мне
disciple?
в WhatsApp пишет.
Oh, and have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to
Ну,
do.
блин, будет здорово, если она ее себе заберет. Так, потому что у нее, я так понимаю, нет родителей у этой девочки.
Upon some
Мне осталось,
reflection,
точнее.
one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuandai's blood flows
Ух
through your veins
ты!
is proof enough of that.
Ура! Она
If this
синей
is what you
останется.
desire, one shall make.
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No, I mean, Master.
Master.
Chuyu, are you sure about this? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like Chinchin and violet grass. If you join them, you'll never enjoy Wanmin Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual
Пойман, что за
must
фигню
find
ты
their
несешь?
own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say
Здорово.
that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the honor of becoming
О,
one's first
она еще
disciple
будет
in the
ли
human
с ней
world.
жить?
Whoa,
Среди людей.
you're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has
Это
sought only
здорово. Я
solace
рада.
and peace. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai, they all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. A failing, perhaps, of recognizing what it was they truly wanted.
Может
One is
быть.
most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the matter, but perhaps some time in the harbor will prove instructive. Why are you all so silent?
Да блин, это здорово, что они будут жить в городе. Она будет ее наставницей. Я рада.
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal together in Liyue Harbor sometime?
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea. One
Здорово.
will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection. One has
Ура!
already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2
Так,
days?
нам
A
сейчас надо
sensible
будет
plan. See you
промедитировать.
then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense
О,
insomnia
ура, он у меня
mechanism
в
as a
доме будет
souvenir?
стоять.
Anytime
Здорово.
you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies. It might help you find a new perspective.
Ура. Круто.
Awesome! Thanks
Спасибо.
Hey,
Так.
did you promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you.
Так, ну что, нам нужно вернуться в Ливию. Ну вот, допустим, сюда телепортируемся и промедитировать 2 дня нужно будет. Так. Медитируем. Ну, вот так, например. И так. Я еще отлучусь, ребят, ненадолго. Опять насморк. Извиняюсь. Так, я здесь. Даже медитация еще не закончилась. Все, здорово. Так, теперь мы отправляемся на встречу с хранительницей облаков. Бежим. Так, мне нужно кое-что сделать сейчас. Умирай. Нам нужно забрать ежедневные награды.
Ad Astra. Thank
Вот
you
эти.
for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
Спасибо.
There's often an hourglass. I'd like to add a few drops of water. Then
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life.
Так, ну
I
логично,
have to be
чел.
careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
we're here, Clow. Miss Shenyan, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares.
Она торговка решила стать? Да ну, не верю.
I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is
Several hundred
Она
years?
сейчас сама проговорится, что она адепт.
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see, passed down over many generations, as families are wont to do.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of Mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eyes. Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Нифига, она торгуется,
Please
круто.
don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items.
И что это будет за
An
эксперт?
expert, you say? Very well.
Извиняюсь.
I will wait for a little while longer then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future, this is where you can find me.
Master! Oh, it's you two again. Hello.
Привет.
You got a new outfit! It looks great on you. Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it too. Huh? You know how to make clothes?
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism, sewing is hardly a
Блин, она
challenge.
классная, конечно.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so I just left them outside.
Fret not, I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything's kind of messy right now, so maybe you could,
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Now, this expert you mentioned. When
Да,
can we
что за
expect their
эксперт
arrival?
прибудет? Наверное, мы его уже знаем. Да, это будет интересно.
Soon. Ah, there he is.
Сяо, наверное.
Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhang Li,
Джун
a
Ли.
well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an
Он
expert in
архонт,
all
то есть
manner
он
of
бог
valuables
вот
and
этого
antiques.
государства, ну, этого региона Ли, божество. И причем самое, по-моему, одно из самых старейших божеств, ему около 3000 лет.
Mr. Zhang Li, this is Miss Shen Yun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
Он ее знает, конечно же. Ага, Джун Ли.
Huh.
Угу.
Ah, if it isn't Miss Shenyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhangli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and peace.
Huh. So you two are
Само
already
собой, они знакомы.
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Shenyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft-celebrated for her impeccable taste.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhangli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are foremost in that regard.
Why, you flatter me, Miss Shenyun. It would seem that you are as self-effacing as ever.
Not at all, Mr. Zhangli. Not at all.
Они столько лет знакомы, представляете, около 3000 лет. И, блин, так забавно.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, I must ask.
Да, что за
You
вопрос?
two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship.
Сговорились, ты дурак?
Can I be certain
Перед
that you're
тобой
not
архон,
working
ты...
together to swindle me?
адепт.
I mean, you never know.
Huh! A preposterous accusation! The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire.
Miss Shenyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on
Он
honesty
бог
and trust.
контрактов.
If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance, this transaction may be taken elsewhere.
Say no more. Let us depart.
Кто-то к нам зайти пытается? Сорян.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhangli himself has vouched for the goods? Miss Shenyun, wait!
Хи-хи.
I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhangli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive it, the same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric grace. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend procuring every last item in this collection.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, I shall, of course, trust your good opinion. Then, in that case, Miss Shenyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland
Торгуется,
Bank?
продолжает
The
торговаться.
Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the
Меня льнуло.
fiduciary house. Oh, very well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now. I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
Ей надо научиться новым словам, потому что она столько не жила среди людей. Привет,
My
Джунгли.
friends, have you been doing well?
We've been great. How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested my services.
И
As for you, Miss Shenyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Shenyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet in further conversation.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true, but... Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it. One is hardly ignorant of that fact.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud.
One has indeed. One's previous days were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city. As well, this city is much changed from how it
ну,
was
само
more
собой, за
than
1000
1,000
лет он
years ago.
поменялся.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another...
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all sentimental on us.
You make
Да,
a valid point,
хватит.
Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together?
Свиной
One
суп с
must
бамбуком.
profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Давайте попробуем.
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so...
Oh? What occasion was this?
Лет 500 назад?
It was a reunion between friends several
Несколько
centuries ago.
столетий назад.
Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that
Щелкали
occasion.
клювом. Ну, она, да, наверное, в образе журавля была.
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
Yes. Все,
It
устраивает.
should be a most splendid occasion.
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li.
A humble employee of Wang
Скромный сотрудник, да.
Pleased to make your
Архонт,
acquaintance.
бог.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhongli. That should be everyone, right? Let's go! Sounds good!
Let's go.
Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff.
That sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparation, certain dishes can be too delicious to resist.
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, hey, wait up!
Так, ну что, ребят. Я так понимаю, мы прошли это задание легенд. Да, все верно. Мы его прошли. И надо теперь придумать, что мы будем делать на следующем стриме. Я предлагаю... Так. Мне заходит. Я предлагаю вам... Опять этот человек ко мне просится. Не знаю, кто ты. Вот это задание пройти. Так, то есть это уже вторая глава. Давайте тогда на 2 пройдем. В следующий раз, так отслеживать цель, будем проходить его. Так, и сможем ли мы... К сожалению, нет. Не сможем покрутить персонажей. Очень жаль. Так, и хотелось еще посмотреть, сколько у меня есть смолы. Угу. Так, сейчас перекуем смолу. Вот. 4 штучки сделаем. Ой. Так, все замечательно. Смолу перековали. И еще хотела артефакт вот этот немного улучшить. В смысле нет ингредиентов? Грустно. Ну ладно. Так, ну что, я тэпаюсь в свой любимый Манштадт. И на сегодня стрим закончим с вами, ребята. Так, ребят, всем спасибо, кто был на стриме. Я всех очень люблю. Всем хорошего вечера. И пока-пока. Увидимся либо завтра, либо уже послезавтра, потому что завтра у меня будет дело небольшое. Потом расскажу, если что, в телеграм-канале. Всем пока-пока.